Welcome to Hastings Outdoors, straight from the Mississippi Flyway to your hearts. Let's go! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of Hastings Outdoors. I'm your host, Andrew, and I'm coming to you not live at all. This is definitely a recording from the one, the only Dream Building Garage, the garage where dreams are made, the adventure building garage, per se. Some say the garage of legend, the home of the Hastings Outdoor Studio. Yes, my garage, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in, have a seat, kick your feet up, relax, make yourself at home, and enjoy the show. In true Hastings Outdoors fashion, let's start with project updates. Not a whole lot to go as far as projects. I got the panel blind all modified, good to go, ready to rock. Just waiting on opportunity to get out there and get after it. So, with that being said, let's roll into the season updates. Definitely, guys, I'm definitely looking forward to duck season. It opens October 28th for me in my area, and I'm really excited, guys. I'm really excited. The weather here lately has been looking very promising as far as leading into duck season for me, and I'm getting excited. I'm just getting. It's nice. Oh my goodness, I'm all over the place a little bit. A little too excited, a little too. I don't know what's going on. It's just Hastings Outdoors, guys. Welcome. But gosh, if I don't ramble through everything today and mush mouth and trip over my tongue 7 ways, we'll get through this podcast. I promise you that. But the changing of the weather is always welcome. I enjoy it. It seems to be that a lot of things that I've done throughout my life have been around season changes. So the weather here, I think today is actually going to be the last warm day for quite some time. The high today is mid-80s. It's been really, really kind of cool in the evenings. I want to say borderline 50s, 60s, somewhere around there. And but after today, I think the high for the next good week and a half, possibly 2 weeks, is maybe the mid-60s, and then obviously lower than that at night. So that is promising. That is a welcome sign of fall, and I am super excited about it. Just because, for those of you who don't know, cold weather, it causes migration. And so that's a good thing if you're a waterfowl hunter or if you hunt migratory birds. But yeah, it's got me excited. And as far as season prep goes, the only thing I have left to do pretty much is change my set, my decoy set. I had it set up for teal season. That was a big flop. I just didn't have any birds. I didn't have anywhere to go that had birds. So what you gonna do? But so as far as that goes, all I have to do is pretty much take the rigs off of about a dozen decoys or so, swap those teal out for mallard. Not all of them, just leave a few teal in there, at least for early season, and get it kind of mallard-centric with Canada's wood ducks, mallards, and teal. Just a kind of a hodgepodge, a nice little mix. And that's about it. I do want to go over kind of my checklist, my mental checklist, and I may even make a checklist just to make sure I don't forget anything, but who knows? I am human. It might happen. But that being said, I want to go through the Dragonfly 3, the boat, and make sure everything is as it should be. Make sure the batteries are good, everything's working as it should, which it really should be okay because this is the first season the Dragonfly 3 has been on the water, and so everything should be top notch. But I want to go through and make sure everything is in ship shape before duck season opens. Check out the blind, trolling motor, batteries, all that stuff. Get the outboard, ready to rock. Everything. Just go through with a fine tooth comb. Make sure all my gear is good to go, and it is where it ought to be. And if it's not, get it to where it ought to be. Just make sure everything is ready to rock. That way, come opening morning, it's load up in the truck, hook the boat up, whatever it may need to be, and boogie. And we'll see what happens, guys. As always, I will keep you guys posted for my hunting activities. I do want to get out there and try to get some more doves before duck opens. But the only problem is I haven't seen that many birds in the area. I have started to see a few more here and there strung out throughout the countryside, yet I'm not seeing any large numbers that would really justify sitting out and trying to get those little critters in there. That may change, however, with the cooler weather. A dove, in case you don't know, are also a migratory game bird, and so with the colder weather, we may see a slight push from some doves heading south. I don't know. Fingers crossed, Lord willing. If that happens, I am hoping to squeeze in some time, find some time, whatever it may be, to get out there and get some more doves as a last little hoorah push before duck season opens. And then, obviously, once duck season opens, guys, it's going to be full speed ahead for duck as often and as frequent as I can. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, guys, I've said this several times in almost every episode, I think, that I am a working man. I am a husband and a father. And I don't always have time to go hunt. And that's fine. I'm not gonna sacrifice my family or anything like that for hunting. But I try to do as much as I can. So that being said, I'll keep you guys posted, and as the date gets closer, I will definitely keep you guys posted. I am for sure planning on getting out opening morning. However, there is a church event that afternoon, so the afternoon hunt is not an option, but that's okay. That's okay. So hey, you guys will get a report on that for sure, and fingers crossed, and Lord willing, like I said, we will have some success. Even a little bit. Even if I'm seeing birds, I'll be happy with that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. All that good stuff. Also, on the vein of keeping you guys posted, probably next week sometime or whatever. Here within the next month or so, I'm hoping to have Alamo on the podcast. As life goes, scheduling isn't the easiest thing. So once I get something kind of figured out, I will keep you guys posted. But until then, hang in there. I promise, sooner or later, you will be blessed with Alamo's presence on the podcast. So remember the Alamo, guys. And also, just a little tidbit, I've kind of been slacking on this. If you guys would like to donate to the Buy My Buddy a Gun Fund, man, I tell you what. You can speak perfect English with proper pronunciation all day long. But the minute you hit record, it's... I don't know, guys. Anywho's McCalls, if you would like to donate to the Get My Buddy a Gun Fund, Get My Buddy Hunting Fund, remember the Alamo Fund to get Alamo a gun for waterfowl season, hit up Patreon. For real. Just to help a brother out, help a brother of a brother out, and hopefully, guys, help get some awesome content for you guys. If you would like to help, great. If not, great. But always, guys, remember the Alamo, and I'm probably going to come up with a sticker or something like that for Remember the Alamo in case any of you guys are crazy enough to want to support Hastings Outdoors. But stay tuned for the episode featuring Senior Alamo. Anywho, so introductory stuff out of the way, guys. On this episode, what I would like to talk about is not just a endless ramble from the garage. No, it is not. I even made notes. I did. On my wife's purple clipboard right here. Don't tell her I borrowed that, guys. Anywho, so with season coming up, guys, I wanted to take this opportunity to discuss basically kind of the gear that I am going to be using this season. I know I talk a lot about how Hastings Outdoors was started because of the idea of a more blue collar oriented podcast. There are a lot of hunting shows out there, and this is no disrespect to those guys or those shows or whatever it may be. There's a lot of hunting shows out there which are really good content, really good filming, everything. It's stellar content. However, I feel, at least for me personally, a lot of those videos and stuff, they don't really relate to what I would consider the average working person in the United States. And the main reason being is because maybe I'm crazy on this, guys, but the last time I checked, the average American can't just, hop on a plane with a rifle or a bow or whatever it may be and travel to wherever they want to hunt whatever species they want. Not all of us, and I'd say the majority of us actually don't have the the budget or the means to fly out to Wyoming or whatever for an elk hunt, take the time off work. If you get that tag, whatever it may be, if it's a lottery, I'm not sure what Wyoming does. I picked a random state, guys. But to get that tag, the out-of-state tag, to get the guide, if you're required to have a guide service in whatever state you're going to, all that stuff, it's a very big expense, guys. Now, granted, if you are successful on the hunt, you're going to have a ton of meat. However, if you're not, you just spend a ton of money. So it's kind of a catch-22. But I would, excuse me, guys. I would dare say that most people simply can't do that. That's just, it'd be nice. That's something to strive towards financially or whatever it may be. But it's just not really feasible. And especially if you're you have a young family, whatever it may be, it's not the works, guys. And so my efforts, or my thought, my goal for this podcast is to reach people like me and to share my experience, hopefully tips and tricks along the way, and hopefully a laugh or two, if possible, for the average person who doesn't have the means to go do that. Whether you're in high school and you just don't have the income, or whether you're a working person like me, that you're doing okay, but you have bills, responsibilities, and you have priorities, and you can't just drop a ton of money into something like that, whatever it may be. For the blue collar average American, that's what I'm doing this for. And so part of that is I want to share my gear with you guys, what I plan on using, not to necessarily promote any brands. I mean, I will tell you guys what I think about it, but to also help you guys get an idea of what I'm using, and maybe that can help you guys out if you decide to do it. If not, you're probably going to be really bored with this. And if you don't waterfowl hunt, hey, here you go. Here's some information for you guys. But in the DIY spirit here, guys, most of the stuff I bought was either on sale or reasonably priced to begin with, that kind of thing. Now, if you're diligent and you watch prices on things, you can find sales, you can find deals, you can use discount codes, all that stuff to help you out to get something decent without breaking the bank. And that's what I try to do in everything, not just waterfowl hunting, but definitely with waterfowl hunting, because it can be very expensive if you're not wise with your decision making. And if you have the budget for it, then by all means, go do it, man. Like, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but I'm talking to people who maybe you have to, for hobbies and stuff like that, you have to save your pennies. Hey, welcome to the club, Hastings Outdoors. Anywho, I keep doing that. It's kind of driving me nuts, but it's hilarious. Oh boy. But yeah. So guys, without further ado, we will dive into the gear I plan on using. It's the gear I have, with some other tweaks in here. I'm gonna make one little note real quick, I should say, because I want to, in theory, add one addition to my decoys here. So I just want to make this note real quick, and there we go. Okay. So, like I said, guys, I don't have tons of money to drop on this. It's a hobby, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself on that, so we're just gonna move away from that. So to dive in, guys, I'm gonna start with apparel, clothing, whatever you want to call it. So my waders, guys, and actually I pulled up some tabs here real quick, so bear with me while I do 14 things at once. I pull up some tabs so I can give you guys actual pricing and references for this stuff as far as the recording of this podcast. So we'll start with the big one, waders. Now, waders are one of those things where there's however many, there's a bunch of companies that make it. There's a bunch of different styles, a bunch of different whatever. But not to get too bogged down in the weeds of waders, you could probably make an entire episode just on that. But for me, obviously price is a factor. And price was a factor, and I wanted insulation, because come late October in Indiana, usually, unless it's just a fluke year or whatever front, I don't know, unless there's just some weird weather going on. Usually towards the end of October in Indiana, northern Indiana specifically, it gets chilly. The temperatures start to really dip. And I wouldn't be surprised. There's been many years where I remember on towards the end of the month, Halloween 31st, October 31st, whatever you want to call it, where there's been snow. So that being said, I wanted insulation or insulated waders, I should say, because of that. And that's important to keep in mind. Get a general idea of what the weather is going to be like for the said area you will be hunting. And if you have the luxury to travel, I would definitely pay attention to that too, because if you take super insulated neoprene waders down south for an early teal hunt, you're probably not going to have a good time. But goodness gracious, phone is going crazy. Anywho, for me, and again, this is area specific, this is climate specific, region specific, whatever you may be. You may not need this much insulation. You may need more. You may need less. So that being said, wherever you are listening to this, whatever zone or region of the country you may be listening to, keep that in mind. But this is northern-ish area specific gear for me. So the waders I chose, and it was basically on price. And again, a lot of this stuff I bought last year for my first season of duck hunting. I didn't want to spend a ton of money on duck hunting last year just because I didn't know if I was going to like it. And I don't want to go invest a ton of money into something where I may or may not like it, because then I'm just stuck with stuff that I don't need or want, use, whatever. So that being said, sorry guys, I keep throwing in little tidbits here, and I swear I'm gonna get to these waders right now. So the waders I chose were through Sportsman's Guide. If you guys don't know anything about Sportsman's Guide, it's a decent place to get good prices on stuff. The downside to Sportsman's Guide, in my opinion, is that really, if you don't have the membership, if you don't have their Sportsman's Guide membership, you do lose out on a lot of the savings. So if you guys are in the outdoors a lot, you hunt, fish, whatever it may be, I think it's like $49 for the year. And if you, excuse me, if you do really a lot of stuff outdoors, and it's not just hunting and fishing specific, they have camping and all kinds of stuff, guys. But if you do outdoors stuff, maybe consider looking into getting that membership, because it will save you a lot of money in the long run. But so Sportsman's Guide, their brand, their in-house brand, their whatever brand you want to call it, their brand of stuff is called Guide Gear. Now, word to the wise, Guide Gear, they make decent stuff. Not all of it is that great, and there's a lot of it that's not bad. So keep that in mind. If you're expecting extreme top-notch quality out of some of their Guide Gear stuff, don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But as far as these waders go, they have been pretty stinking good, at least for the season I use them for. And it's just the Guide Gear brand men's extreme insulated chest wader, 2,000 gram. And they also have like the regular sizes and the stout sizes, which if you played any kind of football or lifted weights or rugby or wrestling or anything like I did, your legs are rather dense. So the stout sizes help with that. I will say, however, guys, when I usually order waders, or I purchased waders in the past throughout my life, what I typically do is I order a size. They go by boot size for the most part. Oh my goodness. Let me get down to the actual options here. They go by boot size for the most part. And so depending on the brand of shoe, I'm somewhere between 11 and 11 and a half, 12, give or take. And so usually what I'll do, especially for cold weather applications, boots or waders, whatever it may be, I will order a size above what I technically need, just for that little extra wiggle room for like thicker socks or, whatever, layers of clothing beneath them. And I will say these tend, at least for me, they tend to run, they ran a little bit large and a little bit tall. I'm not the tallest guy. Depending on which gas station I walk out of, I'm somewhere between 5'11" and 6 foot-ish. So, yeah. But the 12s, I think I got the 12s, and they're a little bit big, but it works out pretty good because the actual length. So the length of them, as far as the overall height, length, whatever you want to call it, they are chest waders, so they're going to come up pretty high, pretty high on your chest. But they seemed a little bit long at first. But the benefits, it's not really a hindrance, but the benefit to it is that when you're sitting and stuff, your waders aren't pulling on you. It's actually pretty comfortable to sit in these waders. And right now, for the member price on Sportsman's Guide, they are running $224.96. And as I see on here right now on Sportsman's Guide's website, they do have an option with Sezzle, a payment option. So, yeah. So you can make 4 payments on that. Also, there's an option here where if you guys want to make like a couple of purchases or whatever, they have a 3-month Buyers Club intro membership for $14.99 instead of buying that annual. But back to these waders, guys. They are neoprene waders, and they are pretty warm. The boots are a little lackluster on them. They have decent grip, but really the boots, I tell you, man, they feel. Oh my gosh, they feel like they feel like you're wearing those. I forget what they call them, but a lot of old timers use them for ice fishing. Everyone I knew called them Mickey Mouse boots, but they're some type of old white military surplus winter type boot. But they feel like you're I don't know. They feel heavy-ish, and they make your feet really wide, which isn't bad for soft bottoms to an extent. But keep that in mind. The boots are kind of clunky, but with most waders with a built-in boot, that's kind of what you're going to get. But so yeah, 224 on the waders, guys. They are extremely warm, and actually, I found several times when I was setting decoys and stuff like that, and hiding the boat and all that stuff, that you have to be very careful and mindful of your body temperature while you're doing that. At least in these waders, I found for me, because you'll sweat really easy. At least I did. Normally, as far as that goes, guys, I don't sweat very easy. That's just a weird thing about me. Even like during football and stuff like that, unless I was sprinting and stuff like that, it was really hard for me to break a sweat. But wearing these waders and setting decoys, pulling decoys, hiding the boat, setting up the blind, you name it, waterfowl hunting in general, unless I'm sitting there calling birds, waiting for birds, shooting birds, whatever it may be, unless I'm in the actual hunting part and the whole setup and teardown part, I would catch myself sweating. And so what I did is I'd be very careful how I layered my clothing underneath, and also when I was setting decoys and really doing anything relatively active as far as hiding the boat, getting the boat like tucked up in weeds, that kind of thing. I would actually take my coat off while I was doing that. And yeah, your hands will get a little cold at times depending on the time of year, but that will actually help you not overheat. The biggest thing, guys, is when you are hunting, especially in colder weather, try not to sweat like in your waders or in your bibs, whatever they may be, just because if you sweat when you're heading out, if you sweat when you're setting up, well, guess what? You're going to be sitting there, and that moisture, if it can't evaporate or if it's in your waders, it's definitely not going to evaporate. That's going to cool your body down, and you'll get really cold pretty quick. So just word to the wise on that. But these waders were very warm. They held up really well, and they actually came with a shell holder that clips onto the shoulder straps. So that was kind of cool. It was kind of annoying at times, but it was also kind of nice to have. It's nice that you can take it off too. And then it had a little hand pouch too. So that was kind of nice to get your hands out of the wind and stuff like that if need be. And yeah, so I mean I don't know how much more to say about these waders other than they ran a little bit bigger than I anticipated, and yeah, they worked out pretty good, guys, pretty good. So the next little bit of clothing that I will get to, and I'm gonna do my best to get through this in a relatively timely manner, guys. I'm already I'm already at like 20 some minutes now, but that's all right. So the next tidbit of gear I picked up was also a Guide Gear men's waterfowl jacket through Sportsman's Guide. And this, I think, is actually a really good deal. A really good deal. It is waterproof. It comes in, let me just pick it up. I think it, okay, so basically the only option they have is Realtree Max 7, which that's fine. But it has tons of pockets. It has like an outer shell. I don't know if the liner is removable or not, but it comes in at 90 for the membership price. It comes in at 91.12, and I think I caught it on sale. I'm not sure, but this jacket it's not very heavy, but it's very warm, and it also is waterproof. That's a big plus. It comes with a hood. The hood, I can't remember if the hood's removable, guys. I do apologize. Let me look at some pictures here. Not really getting too many details on that. So let's see here. It says 150 gram thin slate insulation. It's waterproof, waterproof slash breathable. Yes, removable insulated hood. 9 pockets total. And it says 2 cargo pockets. The one thing that I thought was really cool about this jacket is there's 2 cargo style pockets on the front. You have your typical hand pockets behind it, but cargo's on the front. And in those cargo pockets, they also had some shot shell holders, which was really nice. And they probably should advertise that. But yeah, no, this. Oh, they do. Okay, so there's a picture of it. But yeah, this jacket, coat, whatever you want to call it, it's more of a coat than a jacket. But I'd say it's a really good coat slash jacket for the money. It is really, really good. And for those of you guys who may not have a ton of experience in the outdoors, especially cold weather hunting, what I like to do is I like to layer my clothing. You can always take a sweatshirt off. You can always take an extra pair of socks off. You can always remove an extra layer of clothing if you get too hot. But if you don't have the extra clothing and you get cold, good luck. So usually under my waders, I'll wear, something kind of like this and, my jeans and probably a decent pair of socks as far as insulation goes. And then I'll have like a hoodie or something that will be under my waders. And then I'll have this jacket over top. And with that combination, guys, I don't see any issue that you would have as far as northern Indiana goes with the weather. Maybe late into the season, it might become a factor depending on how long you sit. But this jacket, I highly recommend it. It's very tough, but it's also pretty light and definitely warm. So that's a win in my book. And so moving on from the coat slash jacket and the waders, I did order some. I just got some pants, some waterfowl pants. I actually got them for the intention was to use them for teal season, being that it's warm, but also to have under my waders. That way, if I do get hot in my waders or something like that, and it's not a super cold day, whatever it may be, or if I'm going to be kayak hunting and whatever it may be, just to have options. I picked up a pair of Drake Waterfowl jean cut underwater pants from Rogers Sporting Goods. Right now at Rogers, they are $42.50, and yeah, it's basically just a waterfowl camouflage pair of pants, guys. And they actually have. Let me see what kind of color options they have. Depending on your size, I think this might actually be a clearance item, guys. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely get it while you can. I couldn't find it on Drake Waterfowl's website, so I'm assuming it's a discontinued item. But I'm clicking the sizes here, guys, to see what camo patterns they have available and what sizes. And it looks like the only camo pattern they have available right now is Realtree Max 7. But they have small, large, extra large, XXL, and 3XL available, I guess. So I haven't got a chance to use these hunting yet, but they're basically pants, guys. They're basically pants, and they're jean cut, so they fit kind of like a pair of jeans. The one thing I will say is, as far as sizing goes, they They seem to be just a fuzz small on sizing. I always order like hunting pants and stuff like that, a size above what my waist is, just for the extra room. You know, say I'm going deer hunting or something like that. Usually I would carry a handgun with me, at least the place I used to hunt, because there were tons of coyotes in that area, and those are kill on sight. So I would carry that with me. And even on public land, I would carry something with you just to be safe. You never know. You never know, guys. And the world's not getting any better. So there's that. But also just for comfort, just to have a little extra room. You know, you can throw a pair of long underwear or like, you know, Under Armour type pants or something under these. You can have layers underneath of it with the exercise. So there's that. So those pants, I mean, they're pretty good. I've tried them on. I've worn them around a little bit, and they seem like they're going to work perfect. They do have like I forget what they call it. It's an extra layer of fabric over the knees, so that's kind of cool. If you're kneeling or whatever a lot, that will help with that and help premature wear on those. But $42, it's not a bad price, guys. So that kind of well, oh sorry, I was gonna say that wraps it up, but I also forgot I did pick up a pair of muck boots just to accompany those pants and stuff. I got the muck boots for early teal season, and really, depending on how what setup I'm running, and where I'm going, I won't even wear my waders. And the reason being is a lot of the places I can go, guys, the lake bottom is not conducive for wading. We have a lot of muck slash, I think they call it merle bottom, where it's just endless muck. There's really no firm bottom to it whatsoever on a lot of these places I go around my area. So wading isn't really an option. You might find bottom eventually, but who knows when. Your head's probably going to be underwater before you find something, you know, firm. So I got the muck boots just for that application. That way, you know, launching the boat and stuff like that, I can step in the water, not worry about, you know, swamping my boots and having wet feet, that kind of thing. And depending on where I'm at, muck boots are more than I'll need, depending on the weather. So throw that in there for you guys. It's a good thing to have. And then also one thing I wanted to add to this, and shout out to the Duck Gun podcast, because listening to the second podcast from the Minnesota opener, it made me think of this and reminded me of this. So that was nice. Getting a rain jacket, just a rain jacket, not a coat. But a light, like outer shell type jacket is something I'm looking into, because there's a lot of times where I don't want the full coat. Having that extra insulation is great when it's cold and later in the season. But like I said, guys, I like to wear a lot of layers. And so if I have a hoodie on, you know, a t-shirt, a long sleeve, a hoodie, and then, you know, my waders and stuff, throwing that extra coat on, sometimes it can be kind of cumbersome, depending on, you know, how I've layered up that day or whatever. And so I think having just a rain jacket, a camouflage rain jacket, and I think Final Approach makes some. There's a lot of companies that make some, and I'm going to look into those. But having just that outer shell for waterproofing, essentially, to go over the waders, I think is something I definitely want to look into. But it's not a necessity. I can always use that coat and just, you know, drop a couple layers. So just something to keep in mind, guys. It's always good to be prepared. So that kind of sums up the clothing portion. And really, the only other thing I wanted to kind of talk about is basically, you know, the gun, ammo, and decoys. And I may throw in some information about calls here, guys. I actually was practicing my calls not that long ago, and so I've got tons of calls laying here. So I am no expert on calls, but I may throw in some tidbits about that after I get through this this list I made, my notes, guys. So the next thing on my list is something that I think is extremely important. Man, excuse me, guys. For waterfowl hunters in general, is a floating gun bag or gun case. After I got my my new shotgun, I definitely wanted to get a case for it, just for, you know, to and fro. And so I was looking into a lot of different brands. I know that Dive Bomb makes a cool one. I'm pretty sure Final Approach has one. I'm not really sure, guys. I'll just look real quick. But there's a lot of brands that have a floating gun case, and I would say if you guys really like your gun, get a floating gun case. Yeah, so Final Approach has one. It's 52 inches. It's a floating shotgun case for $60. That's not bad at all. I'll just throw up that. I'll check out Dive Bomb real quick just to see what they have because I know they have a really cool one. I actually saw it. It was actually a gift for my local Ducks Unlimited chapters banquet or a prize gift, whatever you want to call it. So I'll check this out real quick. I don't remember how much it was, but bear with me. It was nice to actually get my hands on this thing and check it out. It was pretty cool. Well, I'm not. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so the dry gauge shotgun case. Yeah, the dry gauge shotgun case from Dive Bomb. It's actually $95, but it's a pretty cool case. Not exactly what I would call the DIY Hastings Outdoors price, but it's pretty good. Anywho, so sorry, rabbit trail. Okay, got the rabbit trails off my list. The case I actually ended up going with, I found on Amazon. It's a Beretta case, and man, I wish I could find more information because the Amazon description is kind of generic, but they have several patterns, guys. It's a floating shotgun case. I call it a bag, but I think let me try to find the one I purchased just to make sure. I can't remember. It was either Max 5 or Realtree Max 7. Either way, I think it was about $50. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, you get the free shipping on that. But this gun case is pretty sweet. It has a nice little pouch on the front for like choke tubes, that kind of thing. And then also, it's padded and waterproof and floating. So you put your gun in there, it zips up, and then you fold the flap down, strap it. That helps keep water out, that kind of thing, and actually secures your gun pretty nice. But definitely recommend it. It's a really cool case. It's nothing super fancy, but it's a good idea to have. It also comes with a strap, like a shoulder strap, and like the I don't know what you call that, the duffel bag style strap too. So that's what I'm using for that. But as you guys know, I talked about this in several episodes, some previous episodes. I was looking into getting a new waterfowl gun for this season. My last year, my first season of duck hunting, I ended up getting a Charles Daly. I forget the model. I want to say 301, model 301, something like that. Semi-automatic 12 gauge, and I absolutely do not recommend that gun. If you just want to go out shooting clays once in a while, if you want to go out and shoot dove maybe 2 or 3 times a year, okay, it'd probably do all right for that. But I ran into several issues, and I couldn't really narrow down what it was, other than just it had to be quality issues, and by quality I mean the tolerance on their machining. So many issues with that gun, and it actually cost me a couple of opportunities that really ticked me off, where it failed to feed, failed to eject, it failed to function, I should say. And so I don't recommend that gun. So I searched for a good while for what I would consider an affordable waterfowl gun, and I was checking out a lot of brands. Actually, I had sold some stuff I had just to try and generate a little extra funds for my waterfowling, I should say. And I ended up with ended up looking at I looked at Benelli's, I looked at Brownings, I looked at the Winchester SX4. I think I briefly looked into Weatherby. I can't remember all the brands I looked at. I looked at a lot of well-known brands, and man, those guns are ridiculously expensive, guys. They're good guns for sure, but they are extremely expensive, in my opinion. And oddly enough, guys, I was looking into Franchi, and just trying to see what they had. Just trying to compare prices, see what they had, see what, whatever they had to offer, right? And I found the Franke Affinity 3 Waterfowl Elite. And I was I was checking out reviews on that gun, trying to figure out what they had, and just to see what people thought of this gun, and because it's still a pretty good chunk of change. And actually, I'm trying to pull this gun up real quick. I probably should have done that before, but bear with me, guys. I guess it doesn't matter what the coating is here. So I ended up looking into the Franke Affinity 3 Waterfowl Elite. It comes with 3 extended waterfowl style chokes. It has an oversized charging handle and oversized bolt release button, and it's a really cool gun. Nice little fiber optic sight at the end, which, I mean, that's cool, but I never really look at that anyway. But I was looking at this gun. I did a lot of research on this gun, watched a lot of videos on this gun, and everything said, yeah, it's a really good gun. It's inertia driven, really nice gun, right? And so I started shopping for it. And a little secret for you guys: if you guys are looking for a waterfowl gun and you don't want to spend a ton of money on it, I would definitely see if you could, if this is available to you. Check this out to see if you guys can get this deal also. But I'm going to pull up a screenshot I took when I was shopping for this. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I should have done a fuzz more research on this, so bear with me. Okay, come on, work with me. All right. So I ended up looking into a company slash whatever called Rural King, Rural King. I'm trying to actually see where all they have stores at, guys, because I don't even know. I really don't know. But so it says over 130 stores in 13 states. That doesn't help me, guys. Don't know. Let's see. See what pops up. Not very helpful. Okay. Regardless, if you guys look up Rural King, if you can find a store within driving distance of you guys, then maybe you can take advantage of this. Let me see if I have this screenshot here, guys. So I was looking at this gun, and I was trying to find places that had one. I called a couple local dealers to see if they had one or they could get one, that kind of thing. And everything would have to be ordered. And Rural King also has a website specifically for gun sales called RK Guns. And I talked about this a lot in the I forget whatever it was episode, but I talked about it a lot before. Basically, it's kind of a separate entity owned by Rural King, and they sell guns in store, but they also have online sales. The only thing is, if you want to purchase a gun online from them, you have to have it shipped to one of their stores. However, in doing so, you don't have to pay a transfer fee. So there's that. But anywho, I was looking to see and try and track down to see if anyone had one of these Franke Affinity 3s, Waterfowl Elites, just so I could see it, so I could hold it, feel it, hold it to my shoulder, see how it feels in the hand, that kind of thing. And no one had one, and no one within a good range had one in stock. And so I finally found through Rural King one, not too far across the state line here in Michigan, that they had one in stock. And I was like, cool, I want to come look at it. Is there any way I can put like a hold on that or anything like that? I'm definitely interested in this gun, and I'm going to be driving, an hour and change to come see this thing. I think it was an hour and a half drive one way. And it was the middle of the week, and I'm like, I gotta check this out, right? And so I checked out on their website, and I almost freaked out because their regular price on their website was $1149.99, which is already less than what the manufacturer's recommended MSRP is, whatever is suggested retail price, whatever, blah blah. I think Franke has their MSRP set at like $1349 ballpark range, and so I was like, well, hey, that's the cheapest price I've seen so far. And then I scrolled up a fuzz, and their special price is $799.99 $1,991. So $800 for a ballpark a $1,200 gun. So $400 off, and I think that was actually the name of the episode. So $400 off and something. And so I bought the gun, and that's what I'm gonna be running this year. It runs great. I patterned the ammo I'm going to use, and it's good to go. I really like this gun. And yeah, so tidbit for you guys: if you can find a Rural King store that has one, they're not available online. You have to call around stores and see if they got one. I picked up basically a $1,200 gun for $800, and that's cool in my book. So, yeah. As far as ammo goes, guys, oh my gosh, I thought I had this pulled up. Let me look real quick. Fortunately for me, guys, the ammo I am using this season happens to be one of the cheaper brands, or price, whatever, blah blah. And that was cool for me because I like saving money. And if you guys like saving money too, then I hope it works out for you like that too. But I'm going to try to look this up real quick, guys. Oh, man, where's that? So I tested a couple different types of ammo. And the one I found that works really, really well with all the chokes and so on is actually the Federal Speed Shock. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to try to look this up, guys. I thought I was prepared for this. I was not. Okay, so here we go. 12 gauge, 3 inch, 1 1/4 ounce, 1,450 feet per second, Speed Shock waterfowl loads. That is Federal ammunition, guys. And if you guys are wanting a decent price, decent deal, again, Rogers Sporting Goods, check this out, guys. They have a case of 250 rounds of this ammunition right now for $179.99. And that is the cheapest price I found anywhere. And I think a box of these runs about $21 for just a box of 25 at most other places I looked. And so just some quick math, guys. Yeah, so that brings it to about 71 cents a round. And that's good. That's really good. And they also have shot size 2, 3, 4, and BB available in their case of 250. And as long as you're over the age of 18, that will ship to your door. So there's that, guys. And that kind of wraps up the gun portion. And man, I'm going long-winded on this one today, so you guys are just gonna have to bear with me. I'm running out of time though. But as far as decoys go, guys, man, I just closed all my links. Oh, let's see here. Shoot. 1 second. So as far as my decoys go, guys, pretty much everything I'm running is Final Approach brand, except for I did buy a dozen of Flambos, which, man, I can't type. You guys are like, well, you're probably wondering, hey, why this guy throw those cheapo Flambos in his spread there? Well, I'm testing the theory, guys. So I've got, for this season, I've got Last Pass Canada floaters, Last Pass Mallards from, and this is all Final Approach. And I've got the live floating Mallards, Last Pass Mallards, and what else? What else am I missing? I'm missing something. I also ordered Final Approach teal decoys, and I'm looking, looking if I have the option to get some of Final Approach's Last Pass wood duck decoys. But so Final Approach heavy in the spread this year, guys. Last year I got used decoys off Facebook Marketplace, touched them up, painted them up, all that stuff. But this year I caught some really good sales on Rogers Sporting Goods again. So pretty heavy on Rogers Sporting Goods and Sportsman's Guide this episode, guys. But on Rogers Sporting Goods, they had absolutely crazy sales on their decoys. I'm sure they still have a bunch on sale right now. I'm not sure. But yeah, I loaded up on Final Approach. Like I said, I was getting rid of some junk I didn't need, selling some old stuff, some old gear, stuff like that, and finding sales, and was able to get a decent amount of decoys for not a lot of money. And the back to the Flambeau, which Flambeau they've been around for a long time, and a lot of people seem to look down their nose at them. But I'm sorry, guys. Avian X makes some really, 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 really good decoys. They do. Their decoys are sharp. They look good. They seem to hold up very well, but they're expensive. They're honestly, I think they're overpriced. That's just my opinion, guys. Just my opinion, but I think they're overpriced. And so, catching Final Approach on sale, I was all on board with that because they already start out a fuzz cheaper than like Avian X and some other brands, and they're really good. And then I saw these Flambeaus, and this Flambeau thing is just to test a theory, guys, because I purchased a 12-pack of they call them the Stormfront 2 Classic Floater Mallard. Now, the little catch to the decoys, they look okay. They're honestly, the paint job, I don't think it's going to be an award-winning paint job by any means. And compared to the Final Approach, it's not that great. And compared to like Avian X and other brands, it's also not that great. But they're a good decoy. They seem solid. They look okay. And the thing that got me interested in this, and like I said, I'm testing a theory here, is they coat these things with their patented U-Vision paint technology. And this is to, I guess, give the ducks the decoys, I should say, a more realistic view or look to the duck's eyes versus whatever, right? So, man, I'm getting in the weeds a lot on this. So basically, guys, waterfowl can see into the UV spectrum, whereas human eyes cannot. Therefore, this U-Vision paint is theoretically to help the decoys look more natural or realistic to ducks, yada yada. Don't know, but I think I got this dozen of these decoys for not a lot of money through Rogers, believe it or not. Again, man, I ought to just talk to Rogers about sponsoring this because I give them so much advertisement, it's ridiculous. But let's just go to Rogers again and see what price they have them on right now, because it wasn't much, guys. And I really just want to test out that theory just to see what happens, right? And load. Why didn't she load? Okay. Oh, man. Yeah, so Rogers has this 12-pack of Flambeau Stormfront 2 Classic Mallard floating duck decoys, 12-pack for $59. So about $5 there, a decoy. So worth a shot, right? And that kind of wraps it up, guys. Yeah, we made it through. I didn't really leave a lot of time for talking about calls, and this is going to be a longer episode anyway. But I do want to throw one little tidbit about calls in here, guys. And I promise you won't regret it. As of right now, Ducks Unlimited. So if you go to ducks.org, click the donate section, they have a kind of a promotional type thing for membership, the Freeze Duck Call. Now, you guys probably won't be able to see this too much. I'm sorry. I don't know how well it's going to translate into camera land here. Maybe if I switch screens, I could kind of see here. So you guys see it's got that frosted glass look, and I'm trying not to get too close to the mic, but it's got that frosted glass look there. Nice little call, double read. It's got the Ducks Unlimited logo and name right there. You can't really see that, but it's a well-built call. It seems really, really decent. And as of right now, guys, and I don't know how long this is going to last. I really don't. Try to find some information here for you real quick. But if you go to donate.ducks.org, you have the option to get a membership, and with your membership, you get this awesome duck call. And I'm trying to remember who actually made this call here, guys. Where's it at? Okay, so this call is manufactured by Buck Gardner Calls. They've been around a long time. And, yeah, you can support a good cause. Even if you don't waterfowl hunt, you get a little cool souvenir for it. And it goes to a really, really good cause, guys. And this call it's got some weight to it. it looks like it's well built, and this frosted look is just really cool, guys. This frosted glass look. They call it the freeze call or whatever, or the DU freeze duck call. Really cool, guys, and it's double reed. And the one thing I found about this call is it actually has a really good sound, but you definitely want to you don't want to be gentle with it. And I guess I'll try to call here for you guys, just a fuzz. But join Ducks Unlimited. It helps a great cause, guys. And seriously, even if you don't waterfowl hunt, if you want to help wetland conservation, check out Ducks Unlimited. It is not just for hunting ducks. Now, granted, that's where it may have originated, but it goes a lot farther beyond just the hunting side of things. And without wetlands, a lot of species will suffer. And it's not just, it doesn't just help ducks. Yes, it does help ducks, but not only ducks. There's a lot of other species that benefit from wetland conservation, and I can talk indefinitely about wetland conservation, but I do recommend you guys checking it out. And no, this is not a promo. This is not paid or anything. This is just me not receiving anything for this other than promoting conservation, guys. And this call is really cool, guys. Actually, it's a really cool call. It's cool looking, even if it's just like a decorative piece or something to leave on your desk or your mantle. It's definitely worth it. But I will try to turn the mic down just a pinch, guys, because this call, like I said, it's double reed, and it does sound best if you really give her the business. So let me turn this down just a pinch here. I'll turn it down over here. This will help better. So yeah, this should be a little bit quieter for you guys. So here we go, guys. I'll give it my best shot. Yeah, so I hope that translates into the audio. And hang on, let me adjust the volume before I start yelling at you. Yeah, so I hope that translates halfway decent, guys, because it is a really nice sounding call. And, to my ear it is. Hopefully the mic does it justice. But if you guys want to support wetland conservation and habitat conservation, please check out Ducks Unlimited. It's worth it, guys. It's really not that much. You can join, become a member, or you can donate, and you can actually purchase this call outright if you'd like to. I believe so. But check it out, guys. Support a good cause. And yeah, there's my little spiel for conservation for the day. This is getting really long-winded, guys, and I am absolutely out of time. So thank you guys for listening. I will try to keep you guys updated as far as dove hunting goes, as far as Alamo being on the podcast, all that good stuff. I appreciate your time, and as always, I know you're going to hear this in just a minute, but please, guys, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm not looking to make any money off this. I don't intend to make a dime off this. This is a hobby. I do it because I enjoy it, and hopefully you guys can also enjoy it, laugh a little bit, get some tips and tricks along the way, and hey, have some content to enjoy that isn't garbage, isn't just whatever. But help a brother out. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Check out YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook. I found out that Google Podcast is apparently going by the wayside. So if you want to check out the podcast, the main hub of the podcast is Spotify, also available on Apple. And I will be posting the videos of the podcast on YouTube. However, as of right now, I believe my intention is to the day after I post the video to Spotify, or the day it releases on Spotify, I should say. The day after it releases on Spotify, it will be available on YouTube. So, guys, please check it out if you're liking it so far. If not, just give me a thumbs up anyway. It doesn't cost you anything. And thanks for listening, guys. I'll catch you later. Check out Hastings Outdoors on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Thanks for listening.